Right, this second video, now this might be a few minutes later. This video is going to be called, Where is the centre of the universe? Where is the centre of the universe? This vast place. You know, people used to think it was just, this was a flat earth. Still people who believe that now. And I've actually talked to somebody, when he talks to me, I think, he believes it. He's put together evidence that shows him the earth is flat. It's this dimensional thing. Anyway, so people believed that everything was fixed in position. You know, and then somebody worked out, well, how can the sun rise and the sun set? Something's moving. Was it Galileo or Michelangelo or whatever? They were persecuted by the church because they said we revolved around the sun. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, they managed to build a telescope, reflective glass, whatever. And they saw Jupiter, they saw Mars. They created gods from the planets. As soon as they found the planet, they created gods from the planets. Or they were just lights in the sky, we don't know. I'm not sure, I don't know how they did it. But the Romans had god of Mars and stuff, and Jupiter and that. And they made gods of them. The Egyptians, the sun god Ra, they made gods of the stars and planets. Anyway, so they still hadn't realised there was this massive universe. They hadn't realised that the lights in the sky were stars like ours. And finally it was worked out. The stars are suns. And then as telescopes got more powerful and more powerful, they realised that some of them lights were clusters of stars and were actually galaxies. They realised that in our galaxy there's 4 billion stars or something like that, or is it 400 billion or something? And around the stars there are planets. So the universe is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So where is the centre? The Hubble telescope. In my book I said that's the greatest man-made invention that fetches us closer to God. Because it's showing us the universe. And some scientists have said the universe was a certain size, which gave it a centre. And he said that there are only so many galaxies in the sky, in the universe. Galaxies, not stars, galaxies. And then the Hubble telescope was put up into space and it took a picture and it was fixed on a point. So as the Hubble telescope moved, it stayed on this point. It stayed at a point in space where it was fixed on this point. And this point was a dark part of space where the scientists said there was nothing. It was an empty part of space, there was nothing there. And it was the equivalent of taking a picture of a pinhead on the wall of an aircraft hangar. That's how it's been compared, this picture. And the Hubble telescope stayed fixed on this point for 10 days to absorb the light. So it slowly absorbed the light where there was nothing but darkness. And when the picture was developed, there was 10,000 galaxies there. In this picture, what was the equivalent of taking a picture of a pinhead in an aircraft hangar? There was 10,000 galaxies in this photograph. Not stars, galaxies. So now the universe has just got bigger, with more stuff in it. So where is the new centre of the universe? Well, the centre of the universe is you. It's your universe. It's your life. Everything that happens in life revolves around you. It's your life. So you are the centre of your universe. I am the centre of my universe. What I do day to day in life affects other people's lives. And it's how I conduct myself in my universe, because I am the centre. I have to think. And I've been thinking more and more about it lately. Since just before Warren came to see me, I started this project of thinking, who am I? And I realised a long time ago that I was the centre of the universe, my universe, as you are the centre of your universe. Because you're looking out. You're there on this fixed point, like the Hubble telescope, and you're looking out, you're looking around at stuff. It's your universe. There's not a lot you can do to things in this universe that are away from you. But there's a lot of things you can do to things and people that are close to you in your universe, like your family. It's as though you're the sun at the centre of the universe and your family are planets, friends and stuff, you know. And they come into contact with you. Your children are more like planets, aren't they? And they need you for everything that sustains them. And then slowly they get to that age where they move out. And it's that age of responsibility where they become responsible for their universes. They're responsible for their actions and their connections and the things they do that affect other people's lives when their lives cross their universe. It's what we do with others in our lives as we meet them, in our days and even a letter, even an email. They've done a report now and it's like, oh, it's coming out in the news. This institute's done a report on trolls, internet trolls, Facebook trolls, trolls who make comments here on YouTube. Somebody made a comment to Fluffy Bunny the other day. Somebody Khan, Imran Khan or somebody, Indian name. Doesn't mean he's Indian. He could be some white kid in a bed sitting Gateshead. No offence, Gateshead. Got no life. And he's decided to wind people up. Or it could be like a little political activist. Somebody who sees himself as a person who is capable of changing the universe through trolling on YouTube. But his actions are affecting other people's actions or other people's viewpoints or happiness. I just put a comment, he's trying to wind you up, Fluffy Bunny. Don't worry. I've told you. When you see people who make comments to you in a derogatory, and they're only a couple of quick lines, it's because they haven't got time to talk to you. And there's other people that they've got to go and troll. If they haven't got the time for more than 2, 3, 4 lines, trolls are usually masters of 2, 3 lines at most. Of affecting people's lives. The centre of their universe is hurting other people or pulling other people down, making them feel small. That's their universe. Well, we don't want out to do with them universes, or as an individual I don't. I ignore them. I ignore their interactions when they come into my universe. I just look at them, wait up and go, yeah. And I don't play any part in their universe. But I've slowly come to realise my part of the universe, or my job, my universe, is helping people in a way I just wouldn't have planned. Because we have plans, don't we, what we'd like to do, the universe we'd like to create. And we get disappointed when we don't get it. It's like my first relationship when I talked about it the other day and my children. I had a plan for my universe at that time. And it wasn't going to happen, was it? Because it clashed with the plan. Who saw herself, the person who saw herself as the centre of the universe, who was like the master of the universe or the mistress of the universe. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because it's like when you're in a relationship, let's say you're a woman watching this and you're married. He's the centre of his universe. And it's the same for a man who's watching this, who's married. She's the centre of her universe. And it's about learning to work together. Revolving around each other, working. Somebody has to be the dominant one in that universe. When I say dominant, the person you have more confidence in. Do you understand? And that confidence factor could change in years to come. If one partner gets bad health, then the other person comes to the fore. We don't know what's round the corner. But the main point is, you are the centre of the universe, your universe. And within you is a central point, the inner voice. That's another step, another universe, a spiritual universe. I told you about a film I watched a few months ago. I forgot the name of it. But it'll be on again, and when I spot it, I'll let you know again. And it was about a boy who everyone was chasing, and he had an energy source and he could detect it. And he knew things, and he gave out, he just knew things. But also he had this energy source within him, and he could detect it from space and that. Next thing you know, he's born within a church, an American church on a ranch. One of these churches that are on a ranch, and they all live on the ranch and everything, and they all like have whatever. And the preacher is the centre of that universe. The preacher. Everyone listens to that preacher. I'm going to go on about that in a minute, where we listen to people. But they chased him and he made his way to this spot. He had to make his way to this spot, and then all of a sudden, poof, this bubble of enlightenment spread out about 2,000, 3,000 miles at a radius, and you saw this bubble from space. And all of a sudden, within this bubble, everybody saw this parallel universe that we were living right next to, and we couldn't see it. They could see us. They knew we were there. And you had all these buildings everywhere. You even had buildings next to our buildings, and huge beautiful buildings, and you had these beings. And these beings, you could see a light from the heart. What a shock ending. I was like, whoa, I never expected that. But then it started me thinking, well, that's what heaven is, and where we go when we die. It's this spiritual dimension that's right next to us, but we can't see it. We pass from one to the other. I don't see spirit as in see spirit here, but I've been in the world of spirit when I've meditated or something, or even, I remember sitting on a tractor once talking to a guy, and all of a sudden I was in spirit. I was talking to him and I was in spirit. And I was getting this message. But we live right next to this spirit. The dimension of spirit. We live right next to it and we can't see it. But getting back to it, I hope you understand, you are the centre of the universe, your universe. And we have to respect that other people see themselves as the centre of their universe, and it's about how we live with each other. It's like pinballs in flippers. It's like 5, 10, 15, 20, 1,000 people all playing flipper, but they're all playing the same machine with their ball, flipping it out into life, and it's affecting other people's lives. Then it comes back and they flip it again. And you've got them collisions and everything. Well, they're just interactions. And it's about how we interact with people in our universe. So, I hope it's given you something to think about.